there. Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to the 6th day of the 12 days of a scandalous Christmas story. I am so glad that you are here. I hope that you are enjoying the series thus far. And yeah, I've been excited to come to you with the nostalgia of all of these scandalous stories. And so we have been keeping up on all of the good tea from back in the day, because at the end of the day, we are so tired of all of the stuff that's going on now. Okay, not really, but look, there's so much scandalous stuff going on at this point that I am in the position where it was kind of nice to go back into time. And I've just been so glad that you've been joining me with that adventure, because sometimes you just need a break of what's going on in present time. So with that, I am so glad to get us started on our next trip around the past, if you will. So we are actually going to be setting the stage for the year 2011, and lots was going on at this time. So let's kind of see what it is for reference. Now, first of all, the #1 song was Rolling in the Deep by Adele. It was a chart performance. It was Rolling in the Deep was #1 on the Billboard Hot 100 for 7 weeks. It was the best performing single of the year. The sales further share that the song sold 7.9 million copies, making it the second best digital download in Nielsen's SoundScan history. And the awards, well, Adele won 12 Billboard Music Awards for the song. Do you remember it? If you do, drop it down in the comment section. I'd love to know. I, for the one, don't remember it right now. So, but yeah, nevertheless, the #1 movie in 2011 was Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2, which is Part 2. And one of the most talked about celebrities was none other than Justin Bieber. So yeah, lots was going on in 2011. Do you remember 2011? If you do, was it a good year for you? Let me know down below. Now, as we were going through the many stories so far of the last 6 days or so of these scandalous things, we know that some of these stories are quite scandalous, and then some are scandalous just for the nature of whether they were able to solve things, or whether it was just how and when the things actually enacted itself when everybody found out about it. So of course we're going through stories that have happened to happen around the holiday season, either starting around Thanksgiving and reverberating into Christmas, or maybe starting in Christmas. So yeah, this is going to be one of those stories that starts off, I think, in the Thanksgiving time frame and lands itself right on into the Christmas time. So let's go ahead and get started with that first sharing, and that is, well, you remember this couple, right? Katy Perry and somebody with Russell Brand. Yeah, I don't know why. A blank, but here is a closer up picture of it. Now, we all know that Katy Perry seems to be in a much happier space nowadays with her new man, which not so new because they've been together for quite some time and have a daughter together as well, but Orlando Bloom, the actor. So, but yes, there was a time when Miss Katy Perry was married to a kind of a randy type of man, Russell Brand, hailed out of England, and I'm not really sure what he did. I kind of think he was more or less like a personality. Maybe he did some other, shows or whatnot. But if you're familiar with the coupling, let me know. Drop it down below. And did you think they were a match or a pair? They seem to be really into each other. But when you're young and in love, you kind of do give off that vibe until it's not. So, and this is what it seems like for this relationship. It definitely seems like it was one of those kind of came in hot and then it burned out hot. And then, or came in hot and burned out cold, Well, nevertheless, make sure you have your cup of mug here. Now for me, just so we can just give it its glory, because this is a nostalgic cup for me. I'm doing a snowflake today. And yeah, I used to always actually do my hot chocolates with all different type of flavors. Let me know if you like hot chocolate and how do you like to make yours? I mean, now we could throw so much junk in it, but back then it was just a simple, nice hot chocolate mix with whatever. I particularly like water, marshmallows, and that was usually it for me. Now you can have candy bars in it. it, s'mores and all kinds of things now. But yeah, back then it was just simpler times in life. But yeah, so this is my nostalgic moment with my nostalgic Christmas mug. So that, yeah, we're going to get back into this coupling and this story and what was going on with them in 2011. Now you see that red zigzag line right through it, so we already know what was happening there, right? So let's go ahead and get into it. Now the sharing obviously comes from, I say obviously because all of them are going to be coming from online. Now it shares that Katy Perry and Russell Brand had celebrate separately. So this is their holiday time frame. So at the time, it was sharing. It's never a great sign when a couple voluntarily spends Christmas apart barely a year after tying the knot, as these two did in 2011. A source had confirmed to E! News days later that Perry's Yuletide beach holiday on Kauai, did not include Brand, and the British comedian filed for divorce on December 30th of that year. So, which made for a real party of a New Year's Eve for Perry after, in what wasn't the most chivalrous of moves, Brand relayed his decision to end their marriage via his trusty mobile. You know what that is? His phone. Texted her. Isn't that crazy? So basically, she shares, let's just say I haven't heard from him since he texted me saying he was divorcing me December 31st, 2011 of that year. Of course, the Prism at the time artist revealed to Vogue in 2013. So, you know, this is a couple years later that she's sharing this ridiculous story. But yeah, basically they had gotten married in the early part of 2011 and he decided, you know, hey, I don't want to do this anymore, so I'm out. Okay, that was it in a nutshell. I mean, my goodness, to get broken up over a text message is insane to me. To tell someone that you're going to divorce them over a text message is insane to me. Now, one thing I do remember, and I don't know if this was before or after, but there was a, let's see, go with me, Sex and the City episode. You know where I'm going with this if you're a Sex and the City fan. And basically what this was Carrie was dating this one guy. His name was Berger. Now that should have already been a red flag. But she was dating Berger, and he apparently seemed to be like this normal guy. Because, you know, Carrie wasn't, you know, Bradshaw wasn't so much, you know, lucky in love. But it seemed like she finally found herself a stable man in a stable situation. And it just seemed like a regular relationship without all of the stress and toxicity that we've known her to have with Mr. Big and others in her past. Well, comes out that she's thinking the relationship is going just fine and well, and all of a sudden he decides, well, he wants to break up with her over a text message. I mean, how insensitive is that? No compassion, just text message, and I'm out. Now, I do believe that they did some kind of a recap, maybe 2 or 3 years, seasons later, maybe, where he does come back into her orbit to explain about the situation. But I remember how devastated Carrie was, embarrassed, humiliated when she was telling the girls, you know, this is what had happened to her. And at the time, you know, of course, it was Miranda, Samantha, and Charlotte. And it was, I remember just sitting there like, oh my gosh, how ridiculous is that? So, I mean, are we talking about avoidance here? Is this a massive passive aggressive move? You know, really, can we get a motion for, hey, avoidance? You know, don't know what was going on there. Don't know what was happening there. I don't really remember the details that was given later on about why they split. Because my guessing is that we probably didn't get any more details. So if you remember this coupling, if you remember that situation, drop it down below in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Do you think that it is a cool idea to text somebody when you're divorcing them, or even to break up with them? Now, I know that over the years from that point on, we got into this whole situation called ghosting, right? And there was even a TV show, a couple of them, that would talk about ghosting, where people would actually go and find the people who ghosted them in relationships or on dates and kind of force them to tell the person, hey, I'm sorry that it's over, and, you know, at least try to apologize, because I mean, that's a very you know, emotionally triggering situation to just think that everything's going okay, and then the person just all of a sudden doesn't call you. I mean, that's ridiculous. It's so cowardless. Cowardless. No, it's cowardful. It's cowardly. That's the word. But yeah, it was just so insane. So I would love to know your thoughts about that. I mean, are you pro text messaging, or text messaging rather, or pro ghosting? I mean, is it that difficult to just say, hey, look, I'm not interested? I thought I was, and maybe I'm not, or this isn't working out for me. I mean, can we leave people with their dignity? I mean, is that too much to ask? Is ghosting still a thing, by the way? Let me know down below. I would love to know. But yeah, so that was what was going on in 2011. Now, 2011 for me was a decent year, but there was a couple things that wasn't so great that happened that year. So we're not going to recall and reflect on that. But keeping on this situation here, this was not a positive situation indeed, and not a way I don't think that you should end a marriage. That's just my thought and opinions. But yeah, it was crazy. And I don't know if she even spoke to him again after that. I'm assuming that things went through the lawyers and the processing back and forth that way, and that was about as good as it got. But I just remember feeling so bad for her, and what a cowardly thing to do. And wow, I'm pretty sure if you think back, and if she thinks back, there was probably a lot of red flags with that relationship, and maybe she had friends and family members who said the same exact thing. But again, sometimes you got to watch out for those hot and bothered type of relationships. You know, they kind of come in on hot, but they usually burn cold, and usually pretty quickly. And yeah, so that was what was going on in that sharing. But oh my gosh, what a time to really just reflect on, man, how cruel and just hurtful that must have been. But you know, she took it in stride, and like I said, she has now got herself her new man, which is Orlando Bloom, and not so new because they've been together for quite some time. And she does have her daughter Daisy, which is probably like 3 or 4 years old by now, and she seems to be doing pretty decently as far as relationship is concerned. And yeah, but oh my gosh, what a situation that was. And I remember back at that time just hearing that was like, how ridiculous is that? So yeah, insane. I guess that was the prequel to ghosting in a sense. I mean, and maybe back in the day that person would have said, well, hey, at least I let you know I didn't want to be with you. But oh my gosh, just let me know. Is ghosting still a thing? And what do you think about doing the text message divorce? But yeah, I just would love to know. So now we're going to go ahead and flip over to a particular movie that was I guess popular at the time. Well, actually, no, let me take it. It's not was popular at the time. It's popular, I think, now. It's one of those real nostalgic black and white movies that actually came out, I think, in 1947. And it is very well known. And this is why I picked it, because I was kind of surprised to see the comment that was attached to it as far as being scandalous, because it wasn't what you was here on the norm. And that is, drum roll please, yeah, The Miracle of on 34th Street. I know you've had to hear about this movie. I mean, it's kind of like all over the place. They talk about it, reference it every single year, every Christmas year. It's just one of those movies that, it's just kind of been, around, like I said, since 1947. And so much so, I guess that's a whole lot of people loved it so much that they decided to go ahead and do a remake, I think in 1994, I think is the year, but we'll cover that in this commentary as well. But it's one of those, I guess, feel good movies for some people. I gotta be honest with you, when I saw the comment that was attached to this, as far as the very honest take on it, I can't say I disagreed with them for as much as I saw, because I really couldn't go through the whole movie myself. So, but yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. And let me know down below in the comment section if you have seen the movie. So basically, this person had shared that I don't care how much of a classic it is, Miracle on 34th Street was beyond dull, and there was no need for a 90s remake. And I'll be honest with you, I agree. I mean, I didn't find it to be all that wonderful either. It lacked maybe energy, and I don't even remember what it was about anymore. And I never really could watch the whole thing. And I wonder, it was like a 3 or 4 hour movie. And I can do 3 or 4 hour movies like like Titanic, or I don't know, some other movies that were pretty big back in the day. Jurassic Park, if it goes, some of those are kind of long movies. I could do those kind of movies if there's action and stuff going on. But I tried to watch that Miracle on 34th Street, and I just couldn't get into it. I mean, I was just like, I was just out. And I can do black and white movies. I don't have a problem with that. If the storyline is good, I can stay in there and hang in there. But this one, yeah, no, was not it for me. But I know that it's a beloved movie to a lot of people. Just wasn't my kind of movie. And yeah, But a lot of people do love it. And like I said, every year you would hear about Miracle on 34th Street, Miracle on 34th Street. And so when they decided to go ahead and remake it, and I think it was 1994, with the little girl that was actually on Mrs. Doubtfire, which I think she's really cute. And well, she's a grown woman now, and I can't remember her name. She also did the Matilda movie, if you remember her. I can't think of her name right now. But nevertheless, I like her as an actress, as a kid actress at the time. And she was really cute, just as cute as button as she was. And it was really good in all the movies that she did. She was super popular in the early 90s. So, and maybe into the mid 90s as well. And I don't know what she's doing much nowadays. She might have done some projects that I'm not familiar with, but I know she's been fully grown at this point. So I think that they thought that it was probably going to do really well by having her, do the remake with her, because she was that, kind of little girl, it girl, kind of like the Curly Sue girl, if you remember that movie. That type of a little it girl, right, for these types of movies. But I didn't watch the 94 one, because if I couldn't get past the 47 one, it's a remake. That means basically you're just going to stay in line with what was already there and maybe try to kind of put it into perspective of modern time, but it's still going to have the same kind of feel. Then I don't see the point. So if I couldn't get past the first one, I'm not going to make it to the second one. But so if you actually did watch the first black and white one and you found it to be, fun and all that good stuff, drop down below. If you saw the remake, let me know below as well. And if you didn't see either one of them, that's cool. Do you have a favorite Christmas movie that you watched during the season? I'm always in the mood for looking up new movies that I may not have watched that are, beloved. And I would love to know. So keep dropping down in the comment section below. Again, like I've shared before, I don't really have any favorite. Well, I have favorite Christmas movies, but I don't have any necessarily that I traditionally watch every year per se. I just kind of, go for whatever is available, like on BET Plus or Lifetime, or on occasionally I do Hallmark, but Lifetime has really been up in their game in the last few years, so I've been pretty much over there. And and like I said, BET Plus and the streaming platform, and BT, and then I think what other channel? The Oxygen, not Oxygen, I'm not Oxygen. What channel is that? I don't even remember anymore. Maybe it is Oxygen. I don't know. 189. I don't remember. Anyways, I've been watching a lot of those, and I've been enjoying those every year. So yeah, but I would love to know your thoughts either way on either one of the sharings. What you think about another Orlando Bloom? Don't put him into that nonsense, right? With Katy Perry and Russell Brand, and let me know your thoughts about that down below, and as well as if you agree with this movie sharing, if you did watch it, or if not, let me know which ones you do like to watch. And I think that will do it for the 6th day here of our 12 days of a Scandalous Christmas Story. And I'm so glad that you were here to chill out with me and hang out. I just love going down memory lane and taking a little bit of a detour from what is going on today. And sometimes it's always a good thing to do, right? But definitely leave your thoughts down below. I would so love to know them, and we'll just kind of chit chat in the comment section below. And definitely too, if you're doing any major plans or anything like that, and you want to share down below for the Christmas holidays, let me know. Are you keeping it cool? Are you kind of doing family and friends? That specialty meals that you do. Like sometimes people do the traditional turkey and all that stuff, but not everybody does that. Like I could do a mean lasagna around the Christmas time, and sometimes I just like a little bit of a change, but yeah, definitely let me know down below in that as well. And of course, if you are new here and you haven't had an opportunity to subscribe, I hope that you will, and stick around and be part of the family, be part of the community. So I would so love to have you. For sure, go ahead and leave your notification bell on as well, so you don't miss any of my future uploads. And definitely, since we are doing 12 days of a Scandalous Christmas Story, guess what that means? We are uploading every single day for the duration of that time frame. That's going to run all the way through Christmas Eve. So yeah, I'm pretty excited because this is the first time that I think I've done an upload for every single day for that length of time. So yeah, it's fun. I'm enjoying it. I hope that you are. Sometimes you just need a bit of a getaway, and this has been one that served as one for me, and I'm so glad you've been able to hang out with me on that as well. So with that, I think I will bid you adieu. Thank you so much again for being here. You take care and be blessed, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.